So in this video, I want to talk about the Black Women Deserve Luxury movement, or Black Girl and Luxury movement, and how some Black women are trying to insert race politics and activism in the movement.
Realize what my issue is with the Black luxury movement, because I couldn't pinpoint it before, but now I have. I feel as if it tells Black women, right? Because it does actually say this. Black women, you deserve the world. You deserve all of the nicest things. And Black women do deserve the world. They do deserve all of the nicest things, but all of the nicest things, like all across the board. But the Black luxury movement is like, you deserve the world. And then it's like, here's a bag. Here's a vacation. Here is a photo of cottagecore and life looking easy when life isn't actually that way. And I think it's because it's easier to acquire stuff than it is to take a deep look and be like, well, Black women deserve protections within their romantic relationships. So what are we going to do about that? Black women deserve to go to hospitals and not die while they're giving birth. So what are we going to do about that? Black women deserve to go to colleges and schools and not feel like they're being belittled, right? When they're actually very intelligent and they're ahead of their classmates, what are we going to do about that? And Black women deserve the world, and they do deserve luxury, but they deserve it in all aspects of their life and not only with physical things.
So you guys just heard that clip, and shout out to Hottie_Black for tagging me in this on Twitter. And let me first say that I understand what this woman is saying. I get where she's coming from. This commentary isn't meant to be an attack on her, and I don't want anyone to go harass this woman for what she said. And I agree with her. Black women absolutely deserve to go to hospitals and not disproportionately die from childbirth. Black women absolutely deserve to go to college and their intelligence not be undermined by their white equivalents. Black women absolutely deserve more protections in our romantic relationships. And we definitely deserve luxury outside of physical things. And being that every individual Black woman's definition of what luxury is will differ, I 100% think it's okay to strive for whatever that is to you or whatever that means to you. Not every woman's idea of luxury is money or an expensive bag or designer clothes or a nice vacation. Even my personal definition of luxury goes far beyond that. So listen, I 100% agree that we are allowed to define luxury in a way that feels good to us or in a way that's most important to us. Now, what I don't agree with, however, is attempting to redefine or expand the Black woman in luxury movement specifically beyond its original purpose and add race politics to it. And in this video, I'm going to explain to Black women why I just think that is not a good idea. And I also think it's off code. And I say it's off code because it doesn't help our image and it supports everything that we complain about. Now, first of all, adding in the fight against systemic oppression to this movement specifically defeats its purpose. I'm not sure who started the Black woman in luxury movement or popularized the phrase. If you guys know who that was, definitely put their name down in the comment section. But to my understanding, the purpose of Black women deserve luxury is to give Black women permission to want more out of life and help us understand that we deserve more than what society has conditioned us to believe. We don't have to stay at the lowly or bottom position that society has placed us in. And I always saw it as creating a space where Black women could get away from the struggle and escape the race politics and the social justice warring for a while, and not only enjoy life and luxurious items and experiences, but be associated with them as well, instead of, for the most part, being associated with pain and the struggle, because that is overwhelmingly our image in this country. And I will say that the Black women in luxury is also escapism. It's a way of life for some Black women, but also a form of aspiration and escapism for others. But I never took it as something that Black women should or were trying to indulge in to the point where we just forget or ignore that we also deserve more equality and basic human rights in this country and all over the world. I never took the movement as being that. And one argument I kept seeing from Black women under this post is that because of racism, white supremacy, and our socioeconomic position in this country, they feel that Black women don't have the privilege or the space to enjoy or fantasize about luxury. Basically, they're saying, oh, well, I know this is about escapism, but Black women, we ain't got time for all that. We got better things to worry about. We got bigger fish to fry. And I'm sorry, but I have a problem with that. Everybody has more important issues they can focus on and bigger things to worry about. And they're still allowed their escapism. They're still allowed their spaces for simply fun and enjoyment without all the heavy stuff. And there was one tweet from a Black woman that showed a video of a Black woman on vacation. And I guess during that vacation, she experienced racist microaggressions. And her caption was, well, when can we have peace without pretending pretending that we have peace. And another woman said, well, is it really luxury if we have no safety or security to go with it? And look, ladies, I understand that Black women have unique concerns. We have to worry about racial profiling while shopping or racism when traveling. But every woman, regardless of race, has to worry about safety and security. No woman has the luxury of not fearing getting kidnapped or something bad happening to her on vacation. Non-Black women come up missing on cruise ships all the time, but they're still allowed to have their spaces to indulge in luxury or escapism without explicitly making tragedy a part of that particular space. They put out the travel warnings and safety precautions and keep it moving. If a situation arises that pertains to safety and security, they'll address it in that moment and move on. They don't feel the need to police or completely change or alter that space or intellectualize it because it doesn't specifically focus on safety and security. What I really need Black women to understand is that you don't have to fight for everything all at the same time. Okay? It is perfectly fine to have different movements or different spaces for different purposes. It is very true that Black women are unprotected and need more safety and security in all facets of life. There is no denying that. And technically, if you're intellectualizing the term, you can say it's not quote unquote luxury if there's not enough safety and security for Black women overall. But then it's really not luxury, quote unquote luxury, for any woman if we're going by that logic, because who's really safe around here? Are some women safer than Black women? Yes, but they aren't actually safe either. So if they don't have to adhere to the pure essence of the term, neither do we, Black women. We don't have to remove the word quote unquote luxury or define the movement as something else because life isn't perfect. And a couple examples that are consistently made during this conversation is, well, Serena Williams and Beyonce almost died during childbirth. So that's proof that Black women in luxury can't escape systemic oppression. And this is similar to when my Black feminist detractors used Michelle Obama to make the point that her being a traditional feminine Black woman didn't stop her from experiencing racism. And Black women, I get it. No matter how feminine you are, no matter how many luxury items you have or how many luxury vacations you can go on, you still Black and you will still experience racism. We know that already. But what I find to be very disingenuous about this argument is that these feminists are reducing these Black women like Serena, like Beyonce, and Michelle Obama. They're reducing their life experiences down to the racist treatment that they receive from white people, as if class or their socioeconomic status or even their femininity or, them presenting in a feminine way doesn't also benefit them as well. If they were not Serena or Beyonce, they very well may have died after childbirth. Like the thousands of other unnamed Black women who died during childbirth from preventable causes who are not rich and famous. If Michelle Obama didn't come from a privileged background, she most likely would not have made it in the White House. Let's not pretend that these women don't benefit whatsoever from their status. Not to mention that when they are enjoying the luxuries they have access to, I'm quite sure they aren't always thinking about racism, white supremacy, or actively trying to fight against it. And I think that's something we should also consider, Black women. We don't always have negative experiences when we are enjoying luxury. I've enjoyed many luxurious experiences and had peace while doing them. I'm a very Black woman and I just went on vacation and very much had peace and enjoyment. I enjoyed my vacation and systemic oppression was still there. Racism still exists and I got treated with respect by the non-Black people I encountered and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Now, does that always happen? Am I prepared for microaggressions or racism to happen during my enjoyment of luxury? Absolutely. And is it fair for me to have to consider those things instead of simply being comfortable? No. But I don't feel the need to politicize the Black girl luxury movement or add to it because of that. There's other movements to address those kind of things when or if something racist goes down. And if a racist situation arises during a time where a Black woman is enjoying luxury, then we can deal with it in that moment. But there's no reason to alter the luxury movement because of that possibility. You don't have to combine everything into one single movement, Black women. It's completely unnecessary. When showcasing discussing luxury, most people aren't including human rights or systemic oppression. Doesn't mean it's not there, but they just aren't including it in that movement. When it's about luxury, it's usually material items, it's scenery, from vacation, it's escapism and pretty pictures. That's it. And what I find with Black women is that we want to add a million different meanings to a thing to the point it loses its original purpose. And that is a problem, ladies. And this is very similar to how a lot of Black women responded to the femininity movement and completely misrepresented me and other Black femininity influencers and our purpose. All of a sudden, femininity can't be defined. None of it's real. It's all performative and therefore it's useless. Or because it's not destroying oppressive systems, Black women shouldn't participate in it or enjoy it. We have to make every movement for Black women all inclusive to the point it loses its motive. We have to make the definition of every word so fluid that it loses all of its meaning. It doesn't mean anything anymore. But we allow non-Black women to have their meanings, right? Or images of luxury or, spaces to escape. We allow them to embrace traditional femininity. But when it comes to you, you don't allow yourself or other Black women to have that. And yes, Black women, outside of systemic oppression, this is part of why we can't have nice things. And something else I saw repeatedly under this post were a lot of the anti-capitalist feminists. And they were talking about, oh, well, this movement is not really luxury. It's consumerism and it's the aspiration of white womanhood. And I am so tired of this argument. If you've been listening to me for a while, you know that I've had to address these same talking points to the Black feminists several times who said the same thing about the Black femininity movement. And it's a very weak anti-Black argument because to say that Black women enjoying luxury or the aspiration of luxury is quote unquote white, it implies that the antithesis of that is Black, or that only white women are allowed in that space. And look, I'll concede to some of the Black girl luxury movement aesthetic being very Eurocentric with the European designer items, some of the hairstyles, the weave, the European looking weave. And we can also acknowledge the white supremacist foundation of what we consider to be the finer things today. I'm not going to ignore the history and deny any of that. But the quote unquote look of luxury as we know it today is still not exclusive to white women. They don't own that. And it is important as Black women that we do not send out the message that they are the only ones entitled to that. And I'll also acknowledge that the racial economic inequality that exists in this country, it won't allow most Black women to have access to luxury, but most white women and people in general don't have access to it either, regardless of race. Most people in this country are not living in luxury, but you know what? They are still allowed to be showcased enjoying it. And again, even Black women allow them that. The Kardashians, the Jenners, etc. Black women allow those women to enjoy their image being attached to luxury, even if it's a fantasy for most white women to be in their position, even if it's something that most of them cannot attain. So how foolish do Black women look supporting the Kardashians, supporting the Jenners, while denying your fellow Black woman the imagery or the pursuit of luxury? Black women are the only ones that aren't allowed to do that and don't allow ourselves to participate in the promotion of luxury or enjoy escapism even. Nobody is saying that Black women should completely lose themselves in the idea of luxury to the point we lose touch with reality or get comfortable with the bare minimum. And I realize that because of the economic disparity in the Black community that we have a tendency to push back against materialism. And I definitely understand that. But we already understand that money isn't the only thing that matters. We already understand that there are more important things than money. But when you won't allow Black women to ever be materialistic, you're contributing to the idea that Black women should only be relegated to the struggle. And I know a lot of you guys don't see it that way, but that's where it leads to. We have literally money doesn't matter ourselves to death. Then we have the nerve to get mad when Black men and other people tell us we aren't worth anything and we don't deserve to be pampered and catered to and paid for. This is all related, Black women. But you know what it is? Deep down, Black women, you don't think you deserve it either. Because every time you see another Black woman enjoying what's considered to be the finer things in life, you shoot it down or you immediately associate it with white women. You don't think you can get it. You don't think you deserve it. So you don't think she should have it either. And I'm sorry, Black women, you're shooting yourself in the foot when you do that. And that brings me to my next point I want to make about optics. This movement is also useful simply for the optics, Black women. See, other groups don't try to mix politics in spaces that show or celebrate them in luxury. And they do that to not only have spaces to escape to, but also because they know that promoting themselves in luxury makes them look good. Plain and simple, ladies, it makes you look good. No matter where it comes from, what we see as luxury today is appealing. It is. So other groups understand that the optics just make them more appealing. And this is part of staying on code, Black women. You don't attempt to politicize a movement that makes you look good. And on my channel, I talk a lot about marketing, promotion, and optics and media representation for Black women and dark-skinned Black women in particular. And I talk about why a particular kind of representation is important. And this is part of it. As superficial as it may be, with the struggle love, downtrodden, hold a brother down, money doesn't matter, all this poverty promotion Black women overwhelmingly get in the mainstream, because that does make up most of our mainstream promotion, ladies. With all of that going on, the Black woman luxury movement and the optics of it help to balance that out. And now we're seeing, little glimpses of that on TV as well, and it's helping to balance things out. Now, of course, we won't get the same benefits as white women, for example, who are promoted in this manner. White women have privilege that works in tandem with their promotional success. So the Black feminists out there who are constantly misquoting us and intentionally misrepresenting our movement, no, we don't think that this movement will turn us into white women with white privilege. But that does not mean that Black women can't benefit at all from appealing promotion. Black men, for example, are marginalized just like we are, and they still benefit from their desirability promotion despite their position in society, and they welcome that promotion as well. They don't stupidly reject it like Black women do. They stay on code. And Black women we just don't know how to do that, and it's really sad. And after looking at a second video of this Black woman where she was talking about falling into the carefree Black girl movement, after watching that video, I get the feeling that this woman, along with many other Black women, have a problem with binary thinking. And this is just not a Black woman or a Black person thing. Everybody has a problem with binary thinking, but I think more so with Black people, unfortunately. And we think and we feel like we can only be one thing at a time. Or we feel like if we're one thing, it cancels out the other thing that we are. And you guys, I'm sorry, but that is just not the way humans are set up. We are multiple things at the same time. And I get what this woman is saying, but you can be carefree sometimes, just not all the time. You can indulge and enjoy luxury and luxurious experiences, just not all the time. It's the same thing I tell you guys constantly about femininity. You can be soft and hard. You can be weak and strong. No woman is 100% feminine, which is why I had y'all take that fun little quiz that measured both your femininity and masculinity. A carefree or luxury movement for Black women isn't saying that you have to forever ignore all of your problems and pretend they aren't there. A femininity movement for Black women isn't saying that you always 100% have to be feminine. It's to help Black women regain that traditional side of femininity that a lot of us have lost and we've been conditioned not to embrace. It's not to say that we can't embrace our masculinity or our masculine qualities at all, but it's to focus on that one part, because that one part a lot of us feel like we're missing or that we've never been able to embrace. That's why movements for one particular thing are necessary. And I feel that some of you are literally going to drive yourself insane trying to be one thing all the time and trying to combine everything all at once. You cannot do that. You can't be unbothered all the time. It's not possible. You can't be a social justice warrior 24/7. It will literally kill you. So find a good balance without muling yourself and roll with that. It is possible, ladies. I do it all the time. And I don't expect every single movement for Black women to address all of the things I have going on inside of me or all of the issues that we face as Black women. It's impossible. Like I said, ladies, all-inclusive spaces do not exist. Enjoy your separate spaces, enjoy your separate movements, and come together when you need to come together. Make your own movement and address whatever you want to address in your movement if you feel like there's not a space for that. So again, Black women, SJWing does not have to exist in the Black girl luxury movement. We don't have to qualify every movement with the reminder of systemic oppression. We know that it's there. And we actively work on that in other spaces. We don't have to think piece every single thing. And I say that as a think piecer, okay? And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be accused of turning a blind eye to the more important issues that Black women face in this country by all the Black feminists who don't like me and who are extreme and like to ignore half of what I say. I know they're going to say we're evil capitalists and we're wannabe white women, but look around. Those very same Black feminists also enjoy their European looking weaves. They enjoy their high heels. They enjoy their plastic surgery, their Botox, their designer items, their designer bags, their white supremacist educational hierarchies. They go on their vacations. They buy their $1 million properties like the Black Lives Matter lady did. They participate in all that shit while telling us over here that we can't. Okay? So I can't take them seriously. Black women, enjoy your luxury. Enjoy your femininity, enjoy your image being associated with luxury and traditional femininity, and enjoy that without SJWing whenever you can. And allow other Black women to enjoy it as well. We are allowed to enjoy that and do that and only that sometimes, just like everybody else. So that's all I have on this. Let me know what you think down in the comment section, and I'll catch up with you in the next video.